this. Okay, that's good. Airplay, that's not right. Can you hear me? Fucking thing working. Shit. I am connected to this fucking this apartment has got a built because I don't know if I'm actually getting audio through here. Hold on, give me one sec. Give me one sec. Okay. There we go. Wasn't that exciting for everybody? We'll edit that out later. When I put out VHS tapes of the greatest hits of my live streams, a best of Larry. When they put out a best of scenes from my life, they'll cut all this out. This will all just be. Ah! For some reason, that damn iPad at the Red Room will do the audio that I need, whereas my goddamn phone will not do it. So hopefully it sounds good. I've got this. There's this goddamn. This apartment is like a Jacques Tati. It's like living in fucking Mon Oncle or Playtime, where it's like it's all this super modern shit and none of it works. Or I don't know. It's kind of overkill. That's how they bump up the price point. Is like it's all this luxury. But anyway, there's this fucking receiver that's like built into the apartment, and there's speakers in the ceiling. So theoretically, I can plug my Bluetooth into this receiver, which is way high up in the closet for some reason. And I mean, it's probably, I would guess they built this place sometime in the mid 2010s because it has Bluetooth, but it's like, it's a giant receiver and it just doesn't have a whole lot of the more modern kind of digital inputs and shit like that. So it's big, it's heavy, and I can't really figure out how to get it to work properly. I did manage to sync up my phone to. I know people love to hear about this. I know this is scintillating. I did manage to Bluetooth my phone into the son of a bitch because it's like theoretically it's set up so just like whatever you're playing on your phone will just like play in the apartment through the damn built-in fucking ceiling speakers. And so I finally figured out how to sync my phone to it. And I'm playing stuff off fucking Spotify and shit. And the thing is, the ceiling is so high, and I can't really figure out. Only one of the speakers seems to really be working, and it's right by the goddamn door, front door. So it's like if I want to hear it in here, I have to kind of turn it up loud. So the neighbors, I'm sure it's louder for them, and it's like louder outside of the balcony and shit. Rich people problems, am I right? Trust fund problems. And so I don't know. This whole apartment is just full of things like that. That's just kind of poor design, and it's expensive. Like the floor in the bathroom is heated. It's some kind of fucking 6-inch fucking marble or some shit like that, granite, some bullshit that they tell rich people. They need that's how it works in a restaurant. You need a story. You need a selling point for every item. If you want to upsell people, there's always like every wine, there's like a story that goes with it. It's like, oh, this is such and such winery, blah, blah, blah. They have the fish and whatever the hell it is. There was this brewery, Evil Twin Brewing. It was two brothers that were twins. They had a brewery, and one of them split off, started his own, and he called it Evil Twin. I don't know. There was fucking stories for everything. Stories for every sake. Stories for the dishes. Where the fuck it came from. That was like how you sold people shit by sounding like you know what you're talking about. And so, like this, the fucking floor in the bathroom here is like heated. Why? I have no idea. I'm not sure why that is like even necessary. Like the heated seats in a car. I kind of get that. It's, that even that's like overkill, but like, okay, it's winter time, your butt cheeks. It's nice to have a little warmth, but it's that's like a rich person thing. Rich people's environments are full. Every little thing is some kind of upsell, sharper image, fucking tech trick to show off to your friends. Oh, look, I got fucking seat warmers in my Mercedes. Isn't that fantastic? Your fucking car won't even start. Your car's a piece of shit. Your fucking window crank won't even work. But I got my fucking ass warmers in my. It's all luxed out. What is it? What do they call that when you're buying a car? The extra stuff, all of the features loaded. What the fuck do they call that? The add-ons and stuff. Like that's how they tack on a bunch of fucking. So, any case, there's supposed to be a fucking. I'll think of it. I'm sure, or not. Who cares? The floor in the bathroom is supposed to be heated, but like the shower has barely any hot water. So it's like, get your fucking fundamentals. You need the fundamentals before you start adding all this other shit. And it's just like everything in our fucking society. It's a scam to rip off rich people. It's like they have so much money, they don't give a damn. They just throw more money at the problem, or. And I'm not calling out anyone and about like this is I'm calling out generally what I've observed among rich people. I'm not saying anything about the occupants of this place or the owners of this place in particular at all. It's not meant to be like aimed. It's more just like a general critique of what the very little exposure I've had, the sort of like, upper class, let's say. They live in a totally different fucking world. It's just like a big resort. Everything is like custom and luxury, and they don't even care. They don't even give a fuck. Like most of them don't have the sense to fucking even know what they're getting. It's just like the best of everything is coming at them all the fucking time. Their fucking floor in the bathroom is heated. Like what the fuck? Put a rug down. Have you never heard of a fucking rug before? Oh, well, they wanted you to crank your electric bill, probably. Because if you're rich enough to afford a fucking heated floor in your bathroom, then like your utility bills and whatever are going to be no object to you. Like your maintenance fees or whatever the fuck it is. And I love it. I wish I was rich. A guy could really get used to this kind of stuff. But I'm used to the fucking scraping by and having to fight for every goddamn. I mean, I was in the grocery store redoing my Domino's pizza order like 3 times on my phone because they charged me 75 extra cents for some reason. And I'm like, fuck this. It says 10.99. What the fuck? What happened? It went up 75. Goddamn Trump. Like everything, I blame Trump. It's Trump. It's the Strait of Hormuz, obviously, made the Domino's pizza 75 cents more expensive. God damn it! Goddamn this war made the cost of Parmesan bites go up, which I shouldn't be eating anyway. So anyway, I want to complain more about. This is my attack on rich people, bougie, bougie, bougie. So yeah, they've never heard of rug before. You have to have a fucking heated floor for your. I mean, the floor, the whole bathroom is incredibly severe. Everything is like an incredibly hard surface, sharp right angles. It's like there's tons of ways you could kill yourself if you slip. It's like Jesus Christ. Like this is supposed to be like top of the line shit, kind of. For a trust fund kid, this is like the starter apartment that like your parents buy you or whatever. So it's like, you have your own place. It's like you know, it's beautiful. If this place was fucking $600 a month, it'd be unbelievable. Like that should be the goal. Like build shitloads of this, but like a little more functional, a little less kind of just claptrap fake luxury. Trust me, I know. I worked in fake luxury, okay? I know it when I see it. And most of it is fake. It's just a way to tack on way more expense to the fucking to the people that really doesn't matter. You know, like they can pay another 10 grand for the heated fucking bathroom floor or whatever. Yeah, throw it in. Throw in all the features. Throw in all the add-ons. What the fuck do they call that on a car? All of the extra shit. There's like a term for it. Like the fucking, leather interior. What kind of shit do they? I mean, the ass warmers. Obviously, we mentioned that already. I don't know. I don't really ride in cars. What's like that bonus shit? They sunroof. Uh, six CD changer. I remember in the '90s, we knew this person that had a CD changer in the trunk of their car that had like a magazine, so you could load like I don't even know 10 CDs in it or something. It was like holy shit, this guy's fucking loaded. He's got a 10 CD fucking changer in his car in the trunk. So you just like load the CDs in and you like toggle through them on your fucking dashboard. Yeah, so I'm enjoying the high life here. So the fucking heated floor doesn't work. And the shower like is really cold. Uh it's like a glass door, but it only covers like half the fucking thing. So it's like there's just open air between you and the rest of the bathroom. So it's like there's no it's not nice and warm. There's no way to get like a nice. It's like, dude, if I was paying 3 grand a month for a fucking apartment, there better be unlimited hot water. Are you fucking serious? If I was some rich, I don't see how some rich kid could go without that. Like, come on, there should be a jacuzzi on the roof. But it's dope. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I mean, I took a shower today, and it was actually pretty warm for about I don't know 5 minutes. I would say that it actually attained like hotness, sort of almost. At no point was it in danger of like scalding me, but like it got like somewhere between warm and hot for like a cup. Not really hot. I wouldn't use warm. It got warm. It did get warm for about 5 minutes, which is a first. And then it kind of went back down to the shrivelly, kind of lukewarm. So, I'm not exactly, in a rush to take a shower every single fucking day because it's like a cold spring. It's been really cold this spring. Like usually by this time of year, I don't know, it should be in the 70s kind of. And it's like at night, it's like been in the 40s. It's like, it's not, it hasn't been that. Well, in this apartment, it's just not really built for weather resistance. Like it's probably the worst of everything, to be honest. It's like it's windows, so there's no like insulation or anything. So it probably gets cold in the winter and it probably gets really hot in the summer. I imagine. I mean, it's been comfortable pretty much since I've been here, thank God. But these windows and there's no shade or anything, so the sun is just gonna be like blasting in here in the summertime. So it's like a fucking pressure cooker. Um, so yeah, this is just my day in the life, walking a mile in the shoes and social commentary. There are USB ports in the kitchen island, which is awesome. So, now they've switched all the fucking USB to like this new fucking USB-C thing. So these fucking ports are dog shit now, and they're permanently built in there. I mean, I guess they're still useful. USB's been around for like what 20 or maybe more than 20 years. I don't know, but are they phasing it out? It feels like they kind of are. neither one of my phone fucking chargers will plug into the kitchen island. But the kitchen island is kind of like a bar, and it's nice to have a kitchen island. You can't say enough about a kitchen island. Growing up, the kitchen island was such a fucking foundational key of the Pearson uh way of life. Dave Pearson, who was like sort of, he was a real estate guy, but he was also like constantly like renovating and doing work on shit. So he would always build a fucking kitchen island. Wherever we went, there was a fucking kitchen island. Or like like a maybe a peninsula, a kitchen peninsula, a kitchen sala. And but what it really was a bar. It's like having a bar without having a bar in your house. Because it's like it's about this, it's not like a dining table where you sit in like a regular chair. It's like bar stool height. You can't sit in a regular chair at the kitchen island. Okay, I've tried. I can't do it. In this apartment, I'm just standing at the fucking marble peninsula. That's where I eat everything, just standing in the fucking kitchen, looking out the beautiful view. It's insane. I mean, it's fucking insane. I wish I was rich. So I hope my live stream just explodes in popularity and I can actually afford a nice place like this. And it's a fourth floor walk up. So not only is it not that cheap and somewhat, like I said, it's like a Jacques Tati house. Everything is like ultra modern, but also just like it's a comedy of errors, just fucking, trying to get things to work and everything's beeping. The refrigerator was beeping at me. They're like droids. It's like, what the fuck? What's beeping? I'm hearing a chirping, beeping. Was it the fucking smoke alarm? What is it? I don't even know what this is. Who's talking to me here? They're droids. These aren't the droids so like if you leave, I figured if you leave the refrigerator open, the refrigerator like beeps at you. And then the microwave, conveniently, if you don't immediately go and open it, it's this weird thing where it like pops out. It's not like they're just a traditional. It's built into the fucking apartment. There's a dishwasher, but it's all like seamless. It's all like camouflaged into the fucking cupboard. You just think it's a cupboard, then you open it, it's like, oh, it's a fucking dishwasher or a trash can or whatever. And so this fucking microwave thing like pops out like it's a fucking, I don't know, like it's a real oven. It's trying to be a real oven. It's like, so anyway, I've been microwaving shit just like constantly. Just dumplings, microwaving dumplings all fucking day, every day. Hash browns, soup dumplings, gyoza, what else? Sweet potatoes, microwave. All of my food is radioactive. Every single thing I eat is like Chernobyl. And so it's right in the middle of the kitchen. The nuclear reactor is right in the middle of the kitchen, thankfully, and it just pops out. But if you don't open it immediately, it starts fucking beeping at you. So it's like beep, beep, beep. Like, shut the fuck up, okay? I know the fucking food is done. I heard you the first time. I'm letting it cool down. Shut the fuck up. But no, they don't listen. These robots don't listen. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. I didn't mean to yell at you. I love you for cooking all my food for me, okay? And it's like this weird, it's way more complicated than it needs to be. It's like this automated drawer that like you press a button, it goes and it's like, what is that? What's the warranty on that thing? What if it fucking breaks down? Like a fucking mic. This I can do all day. This is never gonna break. You open the microwave. This thing, that's like this gear system. It's like this drawbridge of a fucking microwave. It's like, I like it, but like that looks expensive. That thing breaks. That's not just like we can keep using it. It's like, no, we're gonna need to call some kind of we're gonna need to call the fucking factory or something. We're gonna need to take it to the dealership. And so this is the Jacques Tati clown show. My fucking no, I mean it's great. It's working super great. Anything else that I need to the fucking faucet's weird. It's like this modern thing. It can't just be a fucking like nothing can just be like old fashioned. We don't want that. We don't want anything that's like super functional and like chunky, and we don't want any clutter or we want everything to feel like a shaved pubic hair. We want everything to feel like waxed, like Brazilian waxed. I mean, this floor is so fucking hard. It's some kind of white birch or something. It feels like concrete. My balls feel like concrete. The doors are amazing. The doors are very thick, which I'm impressed by. I'm surprised by that. They actually seem to be pretty high quality doors, which I like. But the fucking music is way up in the ceiling. And so even if you turn it up really loud, it's like it's far away from you. And so, I almost would rather just listen to music off my phone than listen to these piece of shit speakers that are like built into the goddamn place. It's like, did they, these places are kind of cookie cutter, where it's like they're all over this fucking neighborhood. There's probably dozens of them, if not hundreds, of these style of buildings, and it's like, are they all fucking like this? They're all built with like no fucking common sense, really, and like it doesn't even seem like they give a shit. Like, yeah, put the fucking speakers 10 feet high, and so you can't actually hear really. Everything feels super like reverb, like I'm listening to it down a fucking hallway or something, or down an air shaft. So it's amazing. I love it. This is gratitude, is what I'm saying. This is all gratitude. I'm paying attention. I love it. I feel so rich and contemporary. I feel like I'm finally living this Brooklyn gentrifier transplant dream. My whole life, I've just been kind of the fucking, hard scrabble, broke ass. And finally, for about a month, I get to be in the penthouse. So, yeah, my fucking air mattress is basically done for. It's like, if I lay on it for like an hour, it's like completely deflated. So, it's almost like a water bed where it's like you're fucking rolling around on it. There's like air bubbles still in it, so like it's kind of like it'll like slam you to the floor and shit will like pop off of it. If you jump it the wrong way, it'll like catapult something, your fucking phone off of it or whatever. And then it'll like slam you on the concrete floor, and but then it's like soft over here and like an air bubble. It's like, oh my god, does it ever get any easier? You know? Do you have to just be some fucking turbo dickhead Roger Stone asshole to make enough money to live this way? To live, if you had enough money to live here, you would just order a bunch of fucking furniture or something off Amazon and be get delivered, or you'd hire movers or something. The whole fucking place, like this would be a really, if I had all my stuff in here, this would be a fucking nice apartment. Like it'd be really, all my shit would fit in here like perfectly. Like I'm saying, if this was $800 a month or $600, even better, that should be the goal. But I think America is about to go way the other way. We're not going to get closer to that. We're going to get way further from that. That should have been the goal. The goal should have been like build as many of these fucking things as you need to until they cost $800 a month, because but the goal is not to make them $800 a month. The goal is to make them $3,000 a month and get a bunch of property value and property tax. And why sell a little when you can sell a lot? Why sell 600 when you could sell 3 grand And it's, and then you can sell a bunch of add-ons and all this other tacky shit to people with no brain. Well, no, no, it's cool. This apartment is amazing. Like it's like if you had the money to sustain it, like it'd be pretty fucking dope. But how many people are like 25 years old and could afford this? I have no idea. They'd have to be an influencer or, I mean, now all the fucking white collar people are losing their jobs. Now it's like tech people are losing their jobs. Email jobs are going away. And so it's like, I mean, I was talking to my friend. She was saying she's in college. She was saying that professors are using AI to like come up with their like fucking homework and shit, to come up with their like assignments. It's like, wait a minute, wait a minute. If the professors are using AI, then we really are fucked. Because I thought they were pissed at the students. I thought the whole fucking point of college was like to learn shit, right? That I thought that was kind of the entire point. You go to college to learn shit, to learn how to do. I mean, I guess they want to teach people how to use AI now because, like, they think that that's going to be like the primary job skill is like typing in fucking AI prompts. And I suppose they may be right, but shout out to Kid Q who got me this pre-roll. My man Kid Q got me this pre-roll. So it's providing a much needed emotional. So it's my emotional support pre-roll. I need it for my mental health. Okay, my therapist. My therapist. It's part of my therapy. My therapist prescribed it to me. Okay. Okay, it's kind of wet out here. Let me just see my balcony. Another fucking like kind of tacky, dangerous, like kind of unnecessary, but just way to kind of jack up the fucking price point. Well, I guess the point being is like they're not designing shit to sell to us. We don't buy anything anymore. Like the bottom 90% has no money. So literally, like the only economy there is shit like this. It's just like what's more fucking luxury items we can sell to rich people. The transnational security elite. That's what all these major cities are. They're just like resorts for people who manage to fucking accrue wealth. It's for them to have a good time, and it's a place that for a service economy of servants. Basically, we're like their servants for now, until they get rid of us for the fucking robots, for the food delivery droids. So, I mean, it just makes life so much easier. It's just crazy. Like my life has just like flipped 180 since I've been here. You know what I mean? Like for the last 3 years, it's just been like being in some kind of wind tunnel or like washing machine. It's just like or it's like I've been in the trunk of a car for 3 years, going over, and now it's like, oh my god, everything. It's like there's food to eat. It's like not expensive at all. There's a Chinese Tex-Mex restaurant. I get a $9 burrito. It's insane. It's got chicken and steak. That can't be fucking uh, healthy. Ah, uh,
So, I mean, it helps a lot in every single way to have like a nice place to operate out of, like good location, having those kind of logistics, having a space to yourself. I mean, Jesus Christ, this is, the insanity that we all have to live with right now is suddenly we're just like plunged in this cost of living crisis where it's just like no one can afford a comfortable place to live, and it's just wreaking psychological havoc. Not only that, but just like social havoc. People can't develop, people can't have families, people can't get intimate with each other. It's just like, what the fuck happened? Like being over 40 years old and feeling like, oh my God, I feel so lucky that I have, like, this is not even like a huge place, to be honest. It's probably, I don't even know, 400 square feet or something. I mean, it's not tiny, but like, I mean, just what we've been asked to get used to as human beings. I think I'm sure that's like it's maybe not unprecedented, but like it just feels so weird to be in the society where it's like so predatorily expensive to even have a place to like sleep that's comfortable and safe, and it's like it's basically impossible almost to afford. uh or everybody's got fucking roommates. Like, it's just arrested our development, as a fucking society generationally. The fact that rent is so fucking expensive and nobody can really explain why. It's like, oh, there's a housing shortage. It's like, I don't really know if I believe that. I don't believe that. But I mean, this is kind of a nice prototype for a modern lifestyle because it's almost like living in a townhouse with it's except everybody has their own space. So it's like I think maybe 5 or 6 people live in this building. So it's like you feel a camaraderie with your neighbors, but you also feel like a separateness. It's not like living in some giant apartment building where it's just like you don't know anybody in the building. It's kind of, once you live in a big, like these big Manhattan apartment buildings, they're kind of depersonalizing. Like you might know your neighbor or a couple of them, but like there's going to be a lot of people in your building you probably don't know, or at least you know there's a lot of turnover. Whereas like here, it's like there's only 5 other people in the building probably. Like it's a little more friendly. It's a little more. I don't know. It has kind of like a community feel to it or something. And I think that's kind of a nice model for living. Like a shared apartment building, but it's not like super huge. Like the Slooge was. The Slooge was, I think, like a nice model for like what like a modern setup could be, where it'd be like, uh, if they're gonna build us and force us into these fucking tiny apartments, which seems to be the plan, or nothing. I mean, like this is not built for like a working class person. Like this is built for. I mean, $3,000 a month. You got to make 40 times the rent. That means you'd have to make 120 grand a year to afford this. Like, I guess if you're like a software person, maybe you make that much. But it's more likely that I don't know. Your parents are just gonna buy it for you or something. It's an asset for them. It's an investment. It's a something to do with their money. They have to put their money somewhere, and so why not get the fucking heated bathroom floor? You know, it's like fuck. I got to put this money into something. Can't just hold on to it. I have to put it into an asset. And if you're really rich, it's like, you know, probably all of the above. Uh, I heard something about like art is no longer like being as much of like an investment for rich people or something. Like art's kind of like no longer in, or I don't know. I don't know. Probably tech guys aren't interested in that, or I mean, a lot of the art is bad, to be honest. It's all like fucking horrible, like Mr. Brainwash ripoffs. Ted Turner died. R.I.P. Ted Turner. R.I.P. to a real one, Duke Phillips. I mean, I feel like I liked Ted Turner. I feel like Ted Turner was like an interesting guy. I think I remember listening to like an interview with him or something. I used to go to Ted's Montana Grill, the Arena District in Columbus, Ohio, when I had that apartment in the short north. I could walk to Ted's Montana Grill as a young adult with a $550 efficiency apartment on Goodale Park in a fashionable district. You know, that was 2009 and 10, which was like maybe one of the last years you could do that. That apartment has got to be over $1,000 now. It was $550 when I lived there, everything included, all the utilities. I had a fucking parking space. So anyway, I used to walk to Ted's Montana Grill, get the bison burger, and it was good as hell, actually. Uh, Ted Turner, and WCW. I mean, it's been a second since I've been watching wrestling. I haven't really watched wrestling since the war started. I feel like that's why I was watching all that goddamn like this winter. Like all I was doing was watching fucking like just endless wrestling on YouTube. I feel like it was some kind of psychological way of preparing for like the war. A way of trying to understand it, a lens through which to understand, you know, the leadership in this country. And Ted Turner owned WCW at the height of the Monday Night Wars. Bischoff, I saw on TikTok there was already a clip of Bischoff talking about Ted Turner. It's like, holy shit, how did he record a fucking podcast and clip it and post it on TikTok already? It's like the guy I just heard about it like, a few hours ago. He dated Jane Fonda, and he was a big thing in like the 80s and 90s. People anymore probably don't even know who the fuck he is. He's been kind of off the radar, I feel like, for like a few decades. But I remember in the 90s, I fucking hated him because he owned the Atlanta Braves, and every fucking year, the Cleveland Indians, would lose the World Series to the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves were like really good in the 90s because Ted Turner owned it. They had an unbelievable pitching. My friend John Ryan was like super into the Braves. The Braves versus the Indians. How about that for World Series? The politically correct 90s. It's the Braves. And they had that fucking chant, or whatever they did. They had some kind of horribly racist chant. I'm sure they probably don't do it anymore. Did they change their name, the Braves? I guess that's not necessarily derogatory. Their logo was not a racist caricature like the Indians were. No wonder the Indians were fucking cursed.
You're just gonna call your fucking team the Indians and have that horrible fucking logo that's just like insanely goddamn racist. It's like having some Japanese cartoon from World War II be your logo or something like, or like fill in the blanks. We all know the fucking stereotypes. It's the Sambos, the Indians. So, anyways, my favorite team. God damn it, I love the goddamn Cleveland Indians. We love our cursed fucking team. It taught us how to lose. Taught us how to lose spectacularly to the Atlanta Braves. And fucking Ted Turner is sitting with Jane Fonda. Ted Turner and Jane Fonda are sitting like on the first baseline or whatever. And they fucking showing their ass on TV like constantly. Oh, Ted Turner and Jane Fonda. It's so weird because she's like the ultimate hippie. And Ted Turner, I think, was like a Republican, or he was sort of like he was like probably like a Ross Perot guy, I bet. I'm sure he doesn't like Trump, but he seemed like a maverick. He was like one of these maverick billionaire kind of guys. Uh, but he was smart. He was Southern. He was kind of a hillbilly billionaire. He was a hill billionaire, if you will. And that was important to us. I don't know. Hillbillies were like fucking really killing it in the 90s. It was Clinton. It was Ted Turner. Tommy Lee Jones, Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, we had a hillbilly representation. What happened? What the fuck happened? Trump is not a hillbilly. I mean, he's sort of like the ultimate hillbilly in a way, but Kid Rock is not a hillbilly either. I'm sorry. It doesn't count. That's not hillbilly shit. As a hillbilly, fuck Kid Rock, okay? He's a fake hillbilly. He's like a trust fund kid cosplaying like he's fucking white trash. His dad owns like a car dealership or something. So fuck Kid Rock. That's why he's a Trumper, because he's a fucking rich asshole. And he always has been. He's just a prick. And that's why he gets to have sex with Pamela Anderson. Because women love that shit. Like Ted Turner's fucking Jane Fonda. Does she give a fuck about his politics when she's getting dicked down by Ted's Montana Grill? WCW nights. I mean, the guy he started CNN. Thanks, fucking Ted. That's what it said in the New York Times. Ted Turner, founder of CNN and 24-hour news cycle. Ted Turner, originator of 24-hour news cycles. God damn. Thanks, asshole. So this is your fault. So now you're just gonna bail on us, huh? You started all of this shit. You fucking put the Iraq War, Persian Gulf War on TV. And you're just gonna bail right when it's getting good? Come on. You don't want to live to see the end of this? Fuck, this is insane. The story is getting really good. This is like the last 10 minutes of Nitro. I mean, fucking good on him, man. Hillbilly billionaires, like, you know what? I got all this fucking money. What do I want to buy? I want to buy a wrestling fucking company. I'm going to buy the fucking NWA. I'm going to buy Jim Crockett Promotions or whatever. I don't even know what did he buy? He bought like Atlanta. He bought what the fuck did he buy? Was World Championship Wrestling a thing before Ted Turner? I thought he bought like the NWA and shit. He basically bought like Flair and the Horsemen and the Southern shit. He bought the hillbilly shit. He bought the redneck, the wrestlers with the hillbilly accents. Arn Anderson, all those guys. Lex Luger, those guys are like WT. God bless them. They're country. Wrestling, I don't know. There's something about it that's like Confederate in a fucking weird way. The Carolinas, that's where like that was where like the cradle of this fucking Four Horsemen NWA insanity was like Charlotte, North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta. It's like what the fuck? Ted Turner's like, I want to get me some of this. I'm gonna buy Ric Flair. I bet we can do great things together. I'm gonna hire Eric Bischoff to run my company. He just wasn't that hands on. Ted Turner kind of That's my under. That was what Jr. was saying. Was just like it's Ted Turner's money. So that no, they were just giving everybody contracts. It was a wonderful era. You know, WCW and that Turner Broadcasting, it does feel like really emblematic of like the Clinton era. The way WCW was like corporate and just like hired all these fucking guys and just like threw all of this money at them. There was still this like mighty American kind of economy and like media and all that power, you know, TNT, Turner Broadcasting Systems, TBS. I mean, Jesus Christ. And I mean, Nitro, you could feel the bloat and you could feel like, okay, so I've been watching all these interviews with Bobby the Brain Heenan. Do people like Bobby the Brain Heenan? Bobby the Brain Heenan, I never really got him because seeing him on Nitro, he was so checked out. Heenan, you could just tell he just like didn't give a fuck. And so it wasn't necessarily the best era to see Heenan. My grandpa always liked Heenan. We had like the little Heenan action figure that was like made out of hard rubber. There was a classy Freddie Blassie, you know, all of them. Hogan, Big John Studd. And there was a Heenan figure. He always wore like sequins and shit. And my grandpa liked Heenan. Heenan kind of was like a W.C. Fields a little bit. He was a heel. But as a kid, I never really got him. Like, I don't really see, you know, he's like WCW just put his ass out to pasture. They really acted. All those guys were paranoid about being old, and they didn't want to seem like uncool. And so, you know, anybody who didn't like turn NWO and sort of like modernize and like gangsterize their fucking gimmick, they didn't know what to do with. Like Heenan, they just sort of like they didn't really want to use the guy's ideas. Bischoff was the head of creative, you know, and he's just a corporate prick. You know, he doesn't really know anything about wrestling. Well, I don't even know what the hell he knows. He's just like he's a yuppie douchebag. He's like the fucking guy in Die Hard who's like Hans Booby guy. He's just a Heenan said he's a used car salesman. And so you weren't really getting the best Heenan on WCW Nitro. But he was just saying the company, you know, they would just give contracts to everybody and like so whereas Vince McMahon, it's like it was all his money. He wasn't spending somebody else's money. Like these people were just spending Ted Turner's money, so they didn't give a fuck. It's like Ted Turner's like a fucking billionaire, and uh, Heenan. I'm talking about Bobby the Brain Heenan here. God damn it. Talking about wrestling stuff. It's important. Well, so anyway, then I was on YouTube. I urge people to check this out. My wrestling fans out there. I know you're out there. Some people. I don't know. It's important. It's culturally important. Okay. I urge people to watch this fucking. I think it's called WWF Prime Time. It's from the '80s, and I'm pretty sure like a lot of them are on YouTube, if not all of them. I encourage people to watch it because the whole fucking show is Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon sitting at a desk in a studio, and their interplay is insane. You know, it's just like it's just they have such unbelievable chemistry that like, oh, now I get why Heenan is like you really got to watch the old stuff before the corporate kind of 90s blow, you know, like he said nobody in WCW like wanted to use his ideas. He said he tried to pitch ideas and just like they didn't really what Bischoff said something like what the fuck are you doing? You're not a writer, you know, like you're a fucking commentator. Like, you know, we don't want you, you know, we don't need your fucking input or something. Yeah, something to that effect. And so at that point he just sort of went like, okay, well, fuck it then. You know, like I'll take the money and I'll be on the show and whatever, and I'll do whatever. But like, there was no. He said they wouldn't even tell him what the fuck was going to happen because it was like they didn't want. They wanted him to be surprised. They wanted it to be like MMA or something. You know, they wanted it to be like, whoa. They wanted to react to it as like a real. Like, wait a minute, why are they attacking Goldberg with the taser? What the fuck? Like Heenan, I don't know. So he said a lot of nights that he didn't even know what the fuck the card was. Like literally, they're just like in the dark. Like, okay, what the fuck is gonna happen next? And so obviously WCW was a total shit show. That's part of what was amazing about it. I kind of like love that Turner. I mean, the later WCW shit is unwatchable. After they got that like that Star Trek looking ramp, like Star Trek: The Next Generation, like then it became like fucking fuck everything that happened after that. Like after the Vince Russo, like that was just fucking weird. The fucking WCW greed and all of that shit. That's even too weird for me. I mean, I love weird shit. I love weird kind of like performance art esque, like perhaps drug induced, insane kind of misfires as much as anybody, obviously. But even I can't even watch like Mike Awesome, the fat chick rocker, or whatever the fuck whatever the fuck his gimmick was. Something about how he likes fat chicks or something. I don't know. Mike Awesome. They did this to Mike Awesome, one of the most incredible athletic talents you will ever see, a god of power bombing. And it's unbelievable he ever got a fucking push in WCW, to be honest, because Jesus Christ, like you would never have expected that in the Hogan, Rodman, Bischoff. Apparently, the NWO, I heard it had like something absurd, like I don't even remember. It was like 90 member. It was a lot of people were in the NWO at one point or another. And so, but looking back, I think it's probably the best wrestling anybody ever made. It's probably the best wrestling show anybody ever made. If I had to pick, well, I don't know. Some of these old WWF shows are like incredible, actually. The WWF like superstar shows from like the 70s and 80s are like, and these primetime shows with Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. Like those guys, man, they really were like a fucking good team. And I don't know. It's just like I think something happened that like could they have been a part of the Attitude Era? Like I don't know. Like they should have found a way to use those guys. Like WCW, goddamn, they had a lot of bad fucking gimmicks. He said they replaced him with this guy Mark Madden because they wanted somebody who looked more MTV. WCW, it's like, oh, we're looking for something that skews younger here. We need like a like a Kurt Loder type, like a who's that guy John Norris. We need like a Gideon Yago of wrestling. We need a Kennedy of wrestling, and we think it's Mark Madden or whatever. I don't even know what the fucking. I think he just had a goatee like everybody in the '90s. Literally every single white man in the mid '90s had a goatee. It was like the law. Something happened. I don't know what the fuck happened. Something happened in 1995 and '96 and '97. Something like exploded in the male psyche, and every single man had like a Van Dyke goatee. Like every guy had this really weird. My stepdad had one. I mean, look, Springsteen had one. Just go look at some of these mid '90s goatees. It was just group think or something. I don't know. Lemmings jumping off a cliff. No one has worn a goatee since. There's been no goatee, cultural goatee traction whatsoever in the intervening decades, in the 30 years since the great goatee winter of 96, 97, the goatee era. It was sort of like the Macarena era. It was around that time. Everything, I don't know. That was how we communicated. There was no memes. You had to grow something on your face.
He had to grow this weird fucking beard style that no one has worn before or since, really, except like Shakespeare. Everybody looked like Robert De Niro and he. Yeah, it was a goatee. I mean, God bless it. Maybe I should do a little goatee. Maybe bring that back. When is the? I mean, everybody's got a mustache now, which I get. I guess that's cool, but fuck. I mean, goatees. Jesus Christ. I don't think that'll ever come back. I mean, you needed like a really shiny, like black leather, like Burlington Coat Factory, like with absolutely no distressing whatsoever, like jacket to go with your goatee. And I was too young for a goatee at that age. I just watched from afar, dumbfounded, aghast. What's happening to these men's faces? Why are they all doing this? I guess it was a look. It really was cooking. And sort of when Putty was on Seinfeld, when Putty and Seinfeld were Putty and Elaine were like really going at it in the car dealership. That was like the goatee era. Clinton, I'm telling you, something happened in the 90s. Look at all the wrestlers. Stone Cold had a goatee. Goldberg had a goatee. They all fucking had goatees. They were contractually obligated. If you were like a balding white guy, you had to shave your head and grow a goatee. Like, who else had a fucking goatee? I mean, goddamn. Hogan kind of, I mean, he had like this thing. I don't know if that's really a goatee. That's like more of a trash stash type situation. But then he wore the grease paint, like whiskers. And I don't know. That was I don't think anybody could find that sexual now. It's got to come back. Somebody's got to bring that back. The chin strap, that's like a little different. These were like more full kind of goatees. It's not a bad look. I guess maybe that was like boomers hitting middle age and they started to develop like a chin, so they're like, "Fuck, what do we do? What if we just grow a little, you know, beards were not that big of a thing in the 90s. They came back in like the 2010s. Beards became like the thing to do. And now it's mustaches. Every Gen Z fucking dude looks like Nick Mullen. They got a fucking mustache. But Ted Turner never had a goatee. He had a mustache. And I'm going to watch some goddamn Ted Turner interviews because I bet they are funny. And WCW Nitro. I don't think he was involved with creative really as much as he maybe should have been. They probably should have had Ted Turner like pitching ideas or something. They had some pretty bankrupt. I mean, they just Kevin Nash just like booked everything. They're just like just let Nash and Hogan do it. They're like definitely the most responsible, like selfless locker room. Not ego driven, not political at all, totally not vain or narcissistic in any way. Totally, I don't know. I think Hogan. Well, Heenan said Hogan is the easiest guy you'll ever meet. He's a great guy. He's the easiest guy you'll ever meet. Hogan is like he knew him before. He knew him in AWA in Vern Gagne's territory in Minneapolis. So, oh my god. Um, Bobby the Brain Heenan, god damn it. So there's this interview with him. It's like a 2-hour shoot interview. I encourage people to watch it. Is he just does kind of a career rapid fire. And my God, I mean, the dude is hilarious. He's a role model. It's a shame what they did to him. God, they couldn't find a way to put him on SmackDown or something. It's absurd. They found a way to use like so many different people that like they have Michael Cole. Seriously, you got fucking Taz. You got fucking Taz doing the announcing, and you can't find something to do with Bobby Heenan. Like that's insane. Like they brought them back for like this like legends fucking thing once, and it's like okay, whatever. But I mean, give this guy a fucking
paycheck. Get him on the road. Get him out of his house. It's just a shame what happened to Bobby Heenan, I think. Just a waste. Just a waste. Well, to me, it's emblematic of the way the country died. You know, just like the way the soul of this country died increasingly after 9/11, especially. But, beginning with Reagan and, the 90s, there was a little bit of a feeling of freedom and liberal expansion, hipness, edginess. It wasn't necessarily, like the 2000s were more like this fucking terrifying, like, decade of war and, you know, 9/11 and all that. Security, military, industrial. The 90s, it was just like, fuck yeah, throw mankind off the hell in a cell. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy a wrestling company. I'm rich. I'm gonna buy half the land in Montana. What the hell else can I buy? Let me start a fucking news. I'm a news junkie. I want to watch the fucking news all the time. Give me Larry King and Wolf Blitzer and other charismatic personalities. Non-stop TV news. Well, one of the things CNN did was, I think early on there was supposed to be a competitor. And what Ted Turner did was he started Headline News. So he was his own competitor. He owned Headline News and CNN because it was like a way to sort of cut off his, they seemed like already there was two different sources. CNN Headline News was branded. I don't think it exists anymore. It was on in the 90s when I was watching cable like all the fucking time. I mean, cable was pretty much the greatest thing going on in the 90s. That was like before the internet could do video, and they were doing crazy shit, you know? Hulk Hogan was wrestling with goddamn basketball players. And Brutus fucking Beefcake was like, they were all NWO, like biker characters all of a sudden. Um, we should probably talk about the war in the spirit of 24-hour news, the spirit of Ted Turner. Dude, I can't believe he's just going to die right now. Come on, man. It's what 24-hour news was invented for. It was invented for Trump. It was invented for publicity hound loudmouths to just like fucking use it to. I don't know. I mean, did Ted Turner sell it a long time ago? Like, who the fuck owns CNN now? I thought fucking Mary Ellison bought it or something. What the fuck happened, Ted? Did you just tap out? You sold WCW. Why'd you give up? Why did Ted Turner give up? He fucking tapped out to Vince. He submitted like a bitch. Vince got his ass in the sharpshooter. He did a screw job on him. He did a Montreal screw job on fucking Ted Turner. Now who's in the fucking White House, bitch? Who's dead and who's in the White House? Nitro, the greatest fucking wrestling show ever made. I don't know. It's just the funniest show. They're such dirtbags. Hogan is the ultimate clown. Hulk Hogan is the greatest. I mean, other than Trump. Trump is really the king of the clowns. But Hulk Hogan is the greatest clown, probably of our lifetime. He really is like the national clown. He's getting his flowers right now with his Netflix doc. The two-part, or is it three-part? Is it trilogy? It's like a Ken Burns. It's like an 8-part television miniseries event.
What the fuck is going to happen to TBS? What's going to happen to TNT? What's going to happen to what the fuck other channels did he own? It was TBS. There was TNT. I don't think he owned TNN. Fucking Ted Turner. Kids today don't even know who the fuck that is. I mean, he was sort of a Charles Foster Kane. Well, he was the one that colorized all the old movies. He bought, he was one of the original billionaires that like bought these fucking big libraries. He bought like Warner Brothers movie library or something. So he could show it on, Turner Classic Movies, obviously. What's going to happen to fucking, he probably hasn't owned that in a while. They probably sold it to private equity or something. Does Larry Ellison own Turner Classic Movies yet? Sell it to David Ellison already. It's now Ellison Classic Movies. It's ECM with Kid Rock. Kid Rock and Tony Orlando. And Ted Nugent. And Gutfield. The greats, the giants. The giants of show business. Joe Rogan, the all-time greats. Low-hanging fruit here. Okay. So what the hell is going on with the war? Apparently, this ballroom is going to cost $1 billion now, and the taxpayers are supposed to pay for it. So it was the old bait and switch. Trump's the master baiter. He is the master baiter, isn't he? He masturbated this whole fucking country. Just baited the fuck out of them. Just bait that shit. 400 million. That's all. Just a little $400 million ballroom. No big deal. No big deal. I need it. I need it for people are trying to shoot me. You don't want me to die, do you? You don't want me to die, right? I'm the president. So it's supposed to be right. They were going to pay for it. He was going to private donors or something pay for it, right? Yeah, likely fucking story. I mean that doesn't even sound like a good idea anyway. Like we really no, we don't need you paying for it because then what? Then you're going to feel like some sense of ownership or something. Like no, 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 no. We didn't ask for that. Please, no, we don't want that. Like the whole thing is so absolutely insane. I can't believe that anyone is okay with this. How is absolutely anybody okay with the fact that this guy tore down a third of the White House without telling anybody in the middle of the night and now he's lying about this shit. Nobody wanted it anyway. Nobody voted for this. It's horrendously tacky. That's just how he sees the world. He's a builder. His whole life, he's just tear this down, put this up. I wanna fucking build Taj Mahal here. Fucking tear all this shit down. Rip this down. I'm gonna build, a tower with my name on it here. Let's just rip this fucking out. I need a ballroom. And he's trying to inscribe his legacy through all these fucking monuments and shit. And all these permanent kind of additions. The Donald Trump ballroom. I think the first thing we should do when the guy goes is tear it the fuck down. Personally. I don't even care like if it's good, which I seriously doubt. I mean, it dwarfs the rest of the fucking White House. It's a complete disgrace. It's just like it's really inconsiderate. It's poorly thought out. It's disrespectful to the fucking thing that's already there. How is anybody okay with that? Is this just some fake news? Oh, this is just some like liberal So anyway, now it's supposed to cost $1 billion for this fucking thing, and the taxpayers are supposed to pay for it. Basically, the poor people, the lower classes, will pay for it. So, like everything, he just fucking lied about it. The son of a bitch. It wasn't a part of his campaign, that's for sure. I don't even think it was part of Project 2025. He never mentioned a fucking ballroom, did he? Not to my recollection. I mean, I didn't read it that closely or anything. Yeah, this is so here we are. We're at the part of the live stream where I bitch about Trump. Not that it does any good, I guess, at this point. It's just like maybe this is Trump derangement syndrome to just keep harping about it like anybody fucking cares or wants to hear about it. Well, I saw that they started to build the damn thing. You know what I mean? I've started to see that um it's coming to fruition in a way that's like uh we've heard a lot of talk about it, whatever. I guess they might as well just fucking get it over with. The son of a bitch. Uh I mean, all this does it really matter what it costs? I mean, it's all just I heard somebody say they're trying to cause hyperinflation so we can refinance our debt. If they make the dollar sort of like worthless, or like if they just print tons of it or whatever, I don't know. It's like $39 trillion suddenly won't be that bad. If inflation gets so bad, it's like that'll just be, well, $39 trillion. It's like, well, yeah, that's not that much. That's their plan. That's the master plan there. So, I mean, it does seem like people are pissed about the gas prices, and it has gone up a shitload, and it's starting to affect other stuff, right? Like this fucking Strait of Hormuz thing is like, oh my god, it's hard to tell what the fuck is even going on, because it's like what they were gonna send ships in, or like the ships are gonna pry open the fucking strait, or I need to smoke more weed. It's just yeah, that's kind of nice right there. Look at that. How about that shit? Well, that's cinematography right there. Fuck. How's the audio and everything? Good for everybody? Yeah, the latest I heard is like they've got it down to a one-page memo. That's all Trump can understand. They've got it down to just a piece of paper, like check yes or no. Will you fucking, what do they want? They want like what do they want us to do? They just want us to leave, basically, right? They want us to like remove all our bases, and then they'll reopen the strait. Is that what it is? Or like stop bombing them and then they'll reopen it? Like that's like the deal. They're just trying to simplify it as much as possible. So the idiot in the White House, who can't understand anything, he's got tapioca pudding for brains. He got shit for brains, okay? And so does anybody who voted for him. His brains have like degenerated, and so that's all he can understand. Simple yes or no question. But it's like I heard, the United States attacked Iranian ships or something. It's like, uh, how's that not war? I mean, that sounds incredibly aggressive and violent, and like an act of war. Not necessarily part of like a ceasefire per se to me, but what do I know?
the hippie. Hippie scum. All right. It's the magic hour, people. Talking about the war. Let me see if I can. Yeah, that's good. The war in Vietnam. Okay, what the hell else happened? Oh, I do want to talk about. I read in this Howl reading. It was pretty cool. It was at Washington Square. Shout out to Ingrid Jacobson. She's the one who set it up for me or introduced me or whatever. It's this thing, the University of Attention, and it's cool. They're trying to do these events in public places, and so it was like, I thought it was going to be a little thing with like of just a bunch of their friends and stuff, but it was like there was some guy from TikTok that was like, I guess the guy who's signed on to it, or I don't know if it was his idea. There's some guy on TikTok. He's sort of an influencer. He's got some etymology TikTok. I've seen him. He's definitely popped up in my TikTok. I don't think I follow him necessarily, but I don't know. Maybe I do. It's like it's something that I'm interested in. So, huh. Huh. So, it was like it was on the stage in the fucking whatever side of the park that is, the east side, and there was probably I don't know 100 people there or something. 100 young people eager for poetry. Suddenly, it's cool to like be. It's a status symbol to be like well read now and like literate and like have a magazine and be a writer. And great. I hope we are like I think we kind of are. I think like writing has become the new garage band in a weird way. Like writing has become like the cultural forefront. It's like the sonic boom. Like the fastest, like most popular, and it kind of makes sense because it's like this modular, lyrical, kind of personal thing where it's like our phones totally kind of inspire all of that sort of like lyrical, experiential, diaristic, and so it's actually pretty cool that there's like, I mean, there's always readings in New York, but it does feel like there's something else happening where it's like now it's people have bands and whatnot, but more people are approaching writing like it's like let's just have a reading on fucking Saturday night at like nightclub 101, and it's like the reading is the thing, the lit mag, the zine. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, maybe that's just because that's the world that I'm in, but it feels maybe I'm just more involved, but like it definitely like the 2010s, don't get me wrong, there was a lot of readings, but like it felt mostly like MFA people or people with books, book contracts, I don't know. Now it just feels like people are starting readings almost like they're starting bands or something, which I think is pretty cool. Like there were, like don't get me wrong, there were definitely open mic poets and all kind of poets coming from everywhere, and maybe I just wasn't that exposed to what was going on, but now it really feels like that's what is cool for young people in New York. Like if you're 23 or 24 or whatever, you want to be smart. You moved to New York to be a writer. You moved to New York to be, and the internet kind of enables a sort of publishing interface that's kind of like like everything else. It's like low entry. It's like the SoundCloud of writing. It's like you have an Instagram for like your literary magazine or your literary organization or throw a flyer up there for some reading you're doing at fucking TJ Burns. Everybody's doing these fucking readings at this place TJ Burns. I'm way out of the loop. I just started to sort of look more at what the hell is out there.
And a lot of these readings, it's like I don't recognize a single fucking person on any of them. You know, it's just like there's 8 names, I don't recognize anybody. And I host an open mic where I see like tons and tons of like writers who are DIY or putting it out there. And I don't know. It feels like when I would see flyers and shit or hear about readings in the 2010s, it's like I usually recognized a bunch of people who were on the reading. Now it just feels like people are just diving in. Just like, let's just fucking do a reading in our apartment. We're gonna read our fucking poetry. That's awesome. I think we are like living in like some weird like poetry is like the center of like the fucking youth culture. Does that sound insane? It's a common denominator amongst a lot of. I mean, that guy who's a fucking etymology influencer on TikTok wanted to do this fucking howl reading. I don't know his name, but in any case, they didn't have a microphone. They had like one of those bull horns from the Police Academy movies. And so they asked us what passage we want to read, and I just didn't. I mean, I just figured, give me whatever you want. I don't. I'm, you know, not really that. I don't know anybody, so I don't want to like be presumptuous and like make a bunch of demands or something. But they actually gave me the passage I would have picked anyway. It was actually perfect. It was the whole thing about. It's like the second page. It's a lot of the lifestyle parts, and it was not long. You know, it's like one page takes like a minute to read or something. And so even though there was 100 people there, it's like I wasn't really that nervous because it's like, okay, how bad can you? There's no way you can really fuck this up. It's like I didn't write this, and like all I have to do is read it without like really destroying it. Like, and people are gonna they're here to hear the poem. They're not really here to like applaud the fucking readers or something. So I'm just thrilled to be a part of it. And it's always good to revisit Howl every few years or I don't know. It's just one of those things that like you can't even hardly avoid it. It's just like such a giant. uh but it was because they read the whole thing. We read the whole poem. I only had that one little passage, but they read the second, the third parts. All that stuff, and they handed out the book to people who came. They had like I don't even know, like 100 copies of the City Lights Pocket Poet edition of Howl. I don't know how they got. I guess they just bought them, but they just gave it away, and it was like it was a lot of fucking. Like I'm saying, it was a lot of fucking. You know, 20 something NYU kids or whatever. Just dirt bags that hang out in Washington Square Park. Uh, um, it felt like a young generation hungry for poetry, and it's kind of sad that we have to rely on this fucking 70-year-old poem to like be something that we look to for, because to be honest, there's parts of it that are not that woke, really. He uses the word, Negro a lot and things of that nature. And I get it, like that's what they said at the time, but like uh platonic conversationalists jumping down the stoops, off fire escapes, off windowsills, off Empire State, out of the moon. See, like that. That's like perfect for me. But at least he didn't say the N word.
Uh, yeah, it went well. It was fun. You know, it was a beautiful day, and it was, like I've always wanted to do some kind of show there, so it was nice to get invited. And I think most of the other people were like actors, maybe, or uh, but it was legit. It was like it was well organized. People really like were focused on it. They had an audience of 100 people standing there that were like really like following along in the goddamn book and chanting along and shit. And so it definitely, I mean, it's a groundbreaking poem, and it's definitely I was trying I met this guy there. What the fuck was his name? I can't remember. So I was sort of talking to this guy while they were reading, but like I was trying to sort of study the poem while they were fucking reading it, just out of curiosity for like, what the form is like and what the hell it actually is. Like what this famous poem, like what is it actually doing? I mean, I would say the first part, yeah, it's like it's repetitive, so it's got this who thing. These long lines start with like who, so it's like the crowd chanted that. They said who and blah 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 blah. So it's like that's almost like the one in the music, and then it's like he takes a solo, which are all these images kind of like hipster life. It's like this movie that's kind of this glamorous, or I don't know. I think people saw it as glamorous. This poem is like this straight shot. It's not that long. You can listen to it in, I think it probably took half an hour to read. But, if you only read the first part, that's probably 10 minutes or something. And like, you kind of get the whole point with just that. And it's kind of like taking the whole of On the Road and just like shrinking it into like 10 pages, where it's just like it's kind of this how-to book, almost how to be a hipster, where it's like all these references and all these kind of, Paradise Alley, I don't know, just all this fucking stuff. T Head. It's a whole handbook, and Allen Ginsberg, he is maxing out his fucking syllables, and I mean there's tons and tons of memorable lines in it, legendary fucking lines that people, it's like a pop song in certain ways, and it's definitely an influence on Bob Dylan. Reading it, I was like, fuck, I can see a lot of Bob Dylan stuff in this, actually. What's that line? The ghost of electricity howled in the bones of her face. That's like totally something that could be in an Allen Ginsberg poem. A lot of uh, Bob Dylan's like mid '60s things kind of have like an Allen Ginsberg vibe to them. Desolation Row or all that kind of stuff. But is that stuff still relevant? I mean, I don't know. It's cool that they did it. It's a classic. It's gay. It's queer literature, and it is subversive and political, and it wrestles with whatever the hell the United States is in sort of like a more complicated way. It's about mental illness. Um, so there's definitely resonances with contemporary, avant-garde queer culture and things like that. And it is just like a fun poem to read. But it's almost it is kind of different than other poems. The way these lines are just like long uh paragraphs almost, really. It's like it's meant to be read, but uh it's like an oral form. Peyote solidities of halls. there's so many phrasings and stuff you can pick up from this without even meaning to. There's tons of shit that you'll like truncate. It's totally a pothead poem because he smoked weed and he just starts to cram everything together. It's just like flash, 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 and it's just like splicing all of this stuff together that like adds up in these run on. A lot of it's unpunctuated, and it's not necessarily he's taking grammatical shortcuts, and there's weird, uh but interesting and understandable, and I don't know, it's a dramatic poem. It is like a slam poem. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked. That's almost like a Harvey Firestein. That could be on off Broadway, one man show. Starving, hysterical, naked. It's my one man show. Come see it. I'll be talking about my friends who were crazy. They were all locked up. They were locked away for being gay. I'm being played by Nathan Lane. Um, who were expelled from the academies for crazy and publishing obscene odes on the windows of the skull. He's constantly doing that where he's like anthropomorphizing like big skulls and Moloch and the sky and the big soul of the dream of the machinery of night. The machinery, it's like kind of crossing like robotic with natural with all these kind of unexpected uh through images juxtaposed the archangel soldier. Okay. Pater omnipotence eterna deus. Oh yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't paying that close of attention. Like I would have liked to have been really, really seeing exactly what's going on there, and the poem. Just trying to read it, just like it's any poem. Like in the context, putting it within context of anything else. Like with fucking John Ashbery's shit, the tennis court oath, or fucking Frank O'Hara biotherm, or how does Howl fit into that? It's sort of an there's an a there, it's obviously got like Whitman kind of things, but it's almost more like biblical or something. Who blah 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 blah. Who blah blah blah. It's like these chanting typewriter. He's probably on speed. Speed. Oh yeah, yeah yeah yeah. The skull of the night. He was typewriting on the barbaric vaginas of the locomotives. Nobody had ever done that before, man. Nobody ever like written poetry like when they were on fucking like speed, man. They were like really blowing people's minds. And howl. He does say the word howl in it. He says something about who howled. And so I guess that's probably where Kerouac. You can call this number. Call this number. There's a hotline. I don't know what's on it, but uh some kind of Allen Ginsberg recitation or something. I think it's a good pick. Apparently the Allen Ginsberg estate like shared it or some fucking thing on the fucking social media. So I don't know. That's how people heard it. I met this guy after who was some kind of fucking Allen Ginsberg associate or some shit. I don't know. I'm not very impressed with these old hipster types. I don't know how to like fucking really. I'm not a good hang, really, to be honest. I'm really not a good hang. I need to figure out how to be a good hang. I don't know what to say. A conversation is such hard work to me. It's like, oh my god, what the fuck am I gonna say to this guy who like knew Allen? He's some music guy. I don't know. He knew Allen Ginsberg, and he said something about Peter. I thought he was talking about. I didn't know who the fuck he was talking about. I had to think real fast. He said something about, oh, I know Peter, and I knew Peter Orlovsky was dead, but I couldn't think of any other Peter that he may have been referring to as like a first person. He's like, oh, he said something about he still talks to Peter or something. And I was like, maybe this guy doesn't know Peter Orlovsky is dead.
Because I don't know. Like a lot of people you meet who are poetry, or especially like Allen Ginsberg fans, it's like they don't really probably know that much about it. They might know this, and that's about it. And not that that's a bad thing. Like McCartney, all those British guys, Pink Floyd and shit, they all fucking read this shit. In a certain way, this was like the original fucking like, album that like blew everybody's minds. Like, get your hands on this shit, man. Whoa, dude, whoa. You're talking about like getting fucked in the ass. Oh my god, what the whoa. I mean corrupted. I think I'm gay. I think I'm gay Jewish poet. I want to get fucked in the ass screaming by bikers or whatever the fuck. Wow, he mentions CCNY lectures. CUNY! CUNY New Paltz lectures. CUNY Grad Center. CCNY lectures on Dadaism and the subsequent. It's got this zany kind of zigzagging kind of. Who fell on their knees in hopeless cathedrals, praying for each other's salvation and light at breasts until the soul illuminated its hair for a second. Wow, how strange. A lot of it's just like this kind of strange dance that you're like, okay, don't get it, but it makes sense. It's got duende, I suppose. It's like got a soul rocking kind of bone bag quality. Fugazis. Yeah, I definitely had the absolute best part I could have had. I don't know how they figured that out. Maybe they watched my live stream. They're like, okay, we're gonna give them this one about peyote buttons or whatever. Peyote solidities of halls. And I just went all in. I hit my vape pin a couple times. I was like, you know what? This is the fucking Allen Ginsberg Howl reading. I think it's okay if I fucking hit my vape. I think Allen Ginsberg would be vaping if he were here alive today. He'd be sucking on a vape. He'd be like, what would Allen? He'd be on Tik. What would he be doing? What would Allen Ginsberg be? He'd be like at the EDM. He'd be at Knockdown Center. He'd probably love Lena Dunham. Maybe I don't know. He would have been on a Girls or something. I don't know. He somehow would have stayed. He'd be on Saturday Night Live with Olivia Rodrigo. She'd bring Helen Ginsberg out to be cool. I mean, that would be, somebody should bring like Ian Waldman out on Saturday Night Live. Oh man, we're missing this amazing sunset here. I can't seem to get that nice coloration there. The nice collars. It's too dark in here. So some light in the matter. All right, we've done 98 minutes working hard to entertain you people. Send me money on Venmo. It's at SHOYISH. Send me money. It's my favorite new thing. People sending me money on Venmo. I love the mutual aid economy. Okay, let's look at this. Look at this. Unbelievable. Look at all that. Bam. Look at that. Beautiful fucking. So I am gonna try to do it. I'm gonna do a live stream where I live stream an entire day of my life. I think next week because well, my fucking hotspot ran out. I finally maxed out my hotspot. I thought it would never happen. I thought the day would never come when I maxed out my hotspot. But I finally fucking did. I maxed out my goddamn hotspot. And so I really only have one phone. I'm down to one phone, people. I can't even fucking listen to Professor Zhang while I'm on Twitter, or fucking project, fucking old movies while I'm on, you know, checking my Instagram stories compulsively. How many times do you check what's a healthy amount, would you say, to refresh an Instagram story? You probably shouldn't even look at it. To be honest, I think that's the most psychotic thing on the internet. The fact that they show you who looks at your Instagram stories, I think it powers our whole society, actually. At this point, that is the depth of communication If you're lucky, you'll maybe DM somebody briefly, and that'll be like, wow, I had a conversation with somebody. But it's like it's all just like, oh my god, they looked at my story. Wow, they must care about me. I'm gonna send out this weird kind of lonely secret flare that's like a code where it's like, yeah, you're sort of signaling that like. But then the Instagram has the power to manipulate you. It's like they might not be showing it to certain people. It might not even be an option for them. The algorithm may have just decided that you'll never be friends with them again, and it wants you to hate each other. So it's like, oh, we're gonna hide you from each other. We're gonna take you away from each other, and so they'll never look at your Instagram story. You'll never look at their. You'll never even see it. You don't even know they've posted a story. It's sick. The whole thing is sick. It's really not healthy. It really should. I mean, thank God it exists. I don't even know how I would. Lord knows it's not through likes or anybody actually reaching out necessarily. It's all just looking at the story. That's all. That's like the emotional distance that I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable with that level of intimacy at this point. Okay. Just look at the story. I can't, I'm not really strong enough to look at other people's stories. I can't really handle it for the most part. It's kind of stressful. It's like an obstacle course. It's like a minefield. It's booby trapped. It's booby traps. It's all booby traps. All of fucking social media, it's just booby trapped at this point. And so you click the wrong. It's like the next thing you know, you're like, oh, I didn't want to see that. No, don't show me that. I don't care. I don't care about that. I'm trying to stay in my own zone here and not necessarily get caught up with what other people are doing or any of that kind of stuff. Um, so here we are. We're fucking live streaming about Instagram stories. I think I mean, it needs to be talked about. The Instagram story is like at least in my maybe this is am I the only one? It seems like in general for anybody who's like a millennial or younger, the Instagram story is like a load bearing, like it's the foundation of your social life. It's how you communicate. It's how you know make jokes with people. It's how you direct the movie of your life, basically. And it's also how you see who your real friends are. You see who actually cares. You weed out, the people who are not really on your side. So it's a good way to figure that out real quick. You're like, okay, fuck this person, fuck them to death. I hate them because they didn't like my post or look at my story, or I hate them. I'm done with them. They're dead to me. They're fucking dead to me. I'm literally holding this fucking thing. How pathetic is this? Anybody who saw my living circumstances would just be like, look, he's got a deflated air mattress. At this point, it's so broke I can't even reinflate it. It really is not even doing that anymore. But I don't know. This is kind of spiritually where America is right now. Just an empty, high value condo that's just it's a total scam job, and no furniture. Sad, sad, lonely place. Minimalist, stripped for parts. Right, America's being stripped for parts. Spirit Airlines, goddamn, what are we gonna do? They got to reopen this fucking strait. Who would have thought? Who would have thought the first casualty of the fucking war would be Spirit Airlines? That really sucks ass. And well, except for all those people except for all those, their entire government that they killed. and the school children and everything. That obviously they were victims too. But Spirit Airlines, I mean, Jesus Christ. Just kidding. Okay. What have I got going on? Anything coming up? We were back in the red room on Monday. Everybody happy? Are you happy now? Are you happy now? I mean, I like I said, there's pros and cons to each. I mean, people loved it. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's really strange to me. There's just a vibe up there. And I can see that, but I'm not a customer there. If I was going through the customer experience, it might be a totally different thing. I might be like, wow, this sucks ass now because now I have to sit whatever fucking in fucking porno theater seats. I don't know. I looked at it. It's more like you know, it's like an off Broadway. It's like a Yiddish, but there's pros and cons to each. Like I said, people just like the upstairs a lot better. So if they're having a good time and everything is going better, I'm fine with that. It would be nice to have the ability to do both. I think it keeps it fresh to kind of at least every once in a while kind of switch it up. The red room I think is a good default, generally speaking. But whatever, I don't care. Whatever the fuck they want to do, I don't care. I'm just there to host the fuck out of it. And it's definitely in a lot of ways it's easier for me in the red room. But in certain ways. In other ways not. It's just the time thing is harder because we have less time, we have to start later, and everybody's squeezed in there, so but people like that. They like the feeling of being squeezed in there. They hate that big theater. They just hate it. I don't know why. Well, I don't know if hate's a strong word. For whatever reason, there's just a clear reduction in. I mean, there's just a clear reduction in the kind of wildness of the interest and the casual interest. That theater downstairs kind of strips it down, and there's less people that sign up for whatever reason. So, but every once in a while, or once a month or something, maybe it could be a treat for people. I don't know. Is that my thing? Is that my shit? Maybe I'll do 2 hours. I was gonna do it till the fucking sun goes down. I want to get this beautiful fucking time lapse of this, $1 million view up here. What the fuck else do I need to talk about? I talked about the ballroom. The ballroom scam. I talked about, well, okay, so the war, what's going on with the war? I mean, they're on again, they're off again. It's like Rachel and Ross. It's like, will they or won't they? I don't know. Will they or won't they? Trump keeps giving them extensions and forgetting about it in 30 days and whatever the fuck it. I don't even know what it is now. Now it's a one-page memo. It's a TPS report. They're gonna solve it by putting together a TPS report or something. Uh, in any case, it's not going well, people. I don't know. They haven't reopened the damn thing. So they're still constipated. There's still a blockage. And it's getting to be like, well, I just saw that China sent some kind of fucking emissary or diplomat or something for some kind of talks. And so it seems like China getting involved, they're trying to like find a solution to get this moving because honestly, I mean, I knew that Trump was going to fuck our lives up, obviously, but like I did not necessarily expect he was going to affect like fuck everybody's life up on the planet. Like I think in fact, like these European countries and shit, I think they have it worse than us. Like the United States is sort of like self-sustainable to some degree, I think. Like things like the oil and like the I don't know, the food and stuff. Do we get our fertilizer from there? Apparently like half the world's fertilizer comes from there, or what was it? Helium. Apparently that's the only place you can get fucking helium somehow. For the balloon doggies, how else are we gonna make balloon doggies? It's helium, right? Is it helium? It can't be helium. Is it high? It can't be hydrogen. I'm pretty sure it's helium. Like most of the fucking world helium for the balloon doggies is in the Strait of Hormuz somehow. So we're not gonna, we're having a serious deficit. It's the Great Depression of balloon doggies, and that's the conversation I keep hearing. Is this going to send it into a worldwide depression? They said if it lasts like X amount of time, it could be a worldwide depression, but like, I don't think it's realistic that it's going to last that long. It seems to me like they want to solve this thing. Like Trump, at least it feels like he's responding to that. It feels like he understands like this is a real bad crisis and he fucked up and he has to like sort of figure it out like soon. And then they'll figure the rest of the shit out. I don't really think he gets it. I think they'll reopen it and then he'll try to bomb them again. He'll try to kill all of them again. And then they'll close it again. And they're like, God damn it, Trump. You fucking said you were going to chill out. I mean, I don't know what the hell to expect. Apparently, there's this fucking virus on this cruise ship, some kind of rat feces virus. I don't know. It sounds absolutely horrific. I think that's. I saw a video with the guy. There's this guy on TikTok. It's like your middle child or something like that. He's on YouTube now. He's the one that's always playing computer games. Always like giving this sort of like autistic breakdown of whatever the hell's going on. He said really that the virus thing is overhyped. Don't worry about it at all. It sounds way worse than coronavirus, to be honest, the way it kills you. But because it's all like makes you shit yourself or something. I don't even know. Not good. Whatever it does, it's not good. But I think it's just I don't think it's like wildly contagious necessarily. I don't know. I haven't looked that much into it. I don't know. I don't expect like another pandemic necessarily. Do you? Do you guys? Um, I can definitely see some kind of like crash of some proportion. People seem to like think there's going to be a balkanization of the United States, that it's just going to split up based on, region or whatever. Maybe New England will split into one thing. I don't even know. Uh, the whole point of the Civil War was like united we stand, divided we fall. It was important to them to preserve the Union. That was Lincoln's like ostensible goal. I think he probably wanted to get rid of slavery, definitely, but they wanted to preserve the Union. They couldn't just have these people secede because that's what the United States are all about. But people seem to think it's ungovernable. I don't. It worked for a long time, you know. Uh, I guess it's like a game. That's how it seems. It just seems like the Republicans like won the game. Like they figured when you have a 6-3 Supreme Court, it's like the game's over, basically. At least, for our lifetime. Has that ever happened before? I don't know, but it just feels like. Maybe I can put this here. Go back to this angle here. The pizza cam here, sponsored by Domino's. I've been eating way too much Domino's. I get like these points and shit. But I'm trying to lose weight. Of course, I'm going through my midlife crisis or whatever. So this is my last chance in life, probably, to lose weight or whatever. I read somewhere that your metabolism doesn't actually break down when you're 40. A lot of people just seem to accept that, like, oh, when you're 40, it's just like you're gonna get fat, or like you get sort of a spare tire or something. And middle-aged man, you're looking at my gut, aren't you? But I read a scientific study that said that's not actually true. Your metabolism doesn't like break down like people think, or slow down or whatever the hell. It's like a common old wives' tale you hear. Your metabolism like slows down. Bullshit. Okay, that's what losers think. Okay, it's a loser mentality. Like, yeah, these are these Parmesan. I don't know. I just get it because it's like something you can have around the house. And I'm trying to wean myself back onto good food. It's harder now to eat healthy, to be honest. There's not as many fucking low cost, diet conscientious options. Now everything's like bowl slop that's like $15 to $20. Can't afford that shit. Let's try this light. See how that's too bright, maybe. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Oh, I don't. Should be longer than 2 hours. What the hell do I need to talk about here? The war. The fucking war. I don't know. I probably should be out there in the clubs, in front of the audience. Figuring out how to make it work in front of the audience rather than just talking shit on the internet. I mean, well, okay. A comedian at the open mic the other night said something about